and welcome to this webinar with me, Gary Gorman.
And my good self, Rob Moon.
Hiya, Rob.
Hello, Gary. How you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. So we're going to talk about your course, Selling with Insights, today, which
Indeed.
I know you've publicised lots on LinkedIn, but I thought it'd be useful for anyone listening in to know a little bit more about it. So I'm gonna sort of get under the boot of what you're trying to achieve with it, really. So
Okay, you're going to give me a good grilling on it, are you?
gonna give you a good grilling, yeah. Hopefully that'll be useful. So brace yourself.
Happy days. Happy days. Good.
Okay. So tell me where it started. What was the initial idea around Selling with Insights?
Okay. Well, I've been like sales training for about 20 years now, and then sort of two and a half years ago, I became an insights discovery practitioner as well. And since then, I've been running my sales excellence workshops separately to any insights work I've been doing. And I suppose, Gary, there's a few reasons why I've kind of bled the two into one program, really. One reason is when I was on sales workshops, there would be a delegate in the room, maybe, who, when we're discussing a certain topic, and that could be cold calling, it could be how to introduce yourself, it could be objection handling, we could be having a discussion about any part of the sales method. And there'd be a delegate in the room that would go, do you know what, Rob, I really love this, but if it was me, what I'd like the salesperson to do for me is, and then they'd explain how they would like to be sold to. And that got me thinking. And I have more and more conversations like that and end up saying, well, the thing is, Gary, you're not selling to you. You're selling to a different human being that's got different preferences, different ways of communicating, different behavior styles. And that got me almost linking in, reactively, bringing in some insights, techniques into those conversations, really. So I thought, could we do something a little bit more structured with this so that salespeople really understand that if you want to build these really great relationships with existing and new customers, it's about understanding the human you're talking to, as well as the task at hand, providing them with a great solution based on the needs you've obtained. All that great sales methodology is going to be in there. But let's think about the other aspects, and that is there's a human being to look after as well. And one of the other reasons was I got chatting to a number of sales managers and sales directors in various clients, and they were really struggling to understand why are our sales figures plateauing. We've had a steady incline over the years, but all of a sudden, my sales team seems to be just plateauing, and they seem to have reached this level, this ceiling that they want to push through and can't find a way, if you like. They're saying things like, we're still great value for money, our solution is the best, that matches these customers' needs and all of that. And one question that is asked more than anything else in sales, I believe, is why didn't they buy? Salespeople come off a call or walk out of a meeting shaking their head and feeling frustrated and asking themselves, why didn't they buy? And we go back to your solution may be great, your value for money may be wonderful, but have you delivered all of that and packaged it up in a style that human being appreciates? And you may have done it in a style that you think's great, but because the person you're speaking to is different and has got different preferences, that's why we're struggling to stop that plateauing happening. And there are some organisations that don't realise that there is another level to get to. You know, they don't, that, you know, they aren't feeling that plateau. They're maybe happy with their results, and if they carry on like that, that's great. And they don't even realise that there could be another level that they could reach.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does, and I can see where you derive the idea from, and obviously, you and I are very similar in terms of we're both sales trainers and we're both insights practitioners. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of overlap there. So I can understand where you felt there was an opening in a way of helping more people in a different way. For those that aren't familiar with insights as a practice or as a way of working, maybe can we explain a little bit more about what insights is, irrespective of sales or whether it might be in leadership or team management? Just explain for the viewers and the listeners what insights is.
Yeah, I mean, the insights discovery is, for me, it is the best psychometric personality profiling tool that's available globally at the moment, and I think it aims to achieve three things really, Gary. And feel free to add your thoughts as well as a practitioner. First of all, understand myself. What are my preferences? How do I behave? How do I communicate? And I wonder what perception of me people take away with them. And it's this self-awareness piece. And then the second aspect is understanding others. So, I don't know if you've ever observed somebody else doing a task, and that can either be at work or at home. It could be really fundamental things like pegging washing out or loading the dishwasher or ironing or cooking or anything. And you observe people doing a task and you stand back and go, you're doing that wrong. We've all done it, whether that's at home with our significant others or at work, observing somebody doing a task, you're doing that wrong. 9 times out of 10, they're not doing it wrong, they're just doing it different.
So it sounds just like my wife.
and mine. Yeah. They're not doing it wrong, they're doing it different. So it's having this appreciation that there's more than one way to skin the cat, sort of thing. You're still going to get the result.
Yeah.
But because we watch others doing it differently, we label it as wrong because that's not how I would do it.
Yeah.
And it's having this appreciation.
Yeah. I'll have to use that. I'm not doing it wrong. I'm just doing it differently.
Yeah. See what she says. Yeah, let me know. Let me know how that goes, Gary. And then go on. And then finally, I think if you get the first two right, if you understand your own preferences and then understand the preferences of the other person you're engaging with, then you can adapt and connect better with this person you're in communication with. And it may be that there are some things about my behaviour that I might need to dial down or dial up so that I get on with this other person.
Yeah.
And it's having that understanding of how to do that and recognising in the first place that needs doing. And then we can start communicating better, build great relationships. And it may well be that internally departments and people can communicate better and have a better flow of communication going on, but externally, when it comes to sales people, I can forge these great rapport with my customers.
Yeah. Okay, broke up a little bit there, Rob, but we got the main gist of that. What's going through my mind is, and I can remember when I've dealt with customers in the past who I now know to be fiery red.
Yeah.
So what we mean for those unfamiliar with insights, what we mean with fiery red is that they like directness, they like focusing on results, they don't want too much waffle or too much background. They want to go straight to the case, the sales case in this instance. But I now know, before I became a practitioner, that I that's maybe not my style. I like to explain the rationale a little bit more rather than dive straight into the results. Now I'm a practitioner of insights, and the way I sell my services is I recognise that that's the way they wish to be communicated with, and adapt my proposal accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be very focused on results, very focused on directness, very focused, short, sharp sentences, because that's the way my customer appreciates being communicated with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really funny actually, because I've done a coaching session with a salesperson this afternoon, and they were telling me about a customer that they spoke to last week, and they actually said, and I quote, "Oh, one of the customers I spoke to last week, he was a right pain in the backside." And I says, "Why?" "Well, he kept asking questions and questions, and he wanted to know the millimeter width of the wood we use on our beams in our houses that we build, and detail after detail after detail." Now, this salesperson was very sunshine yellow, and it was clearly evident that their customer was a very cool blue analytical type.
Which is opposite on the wheel, isn't it? So
total opposite.
So is it any wonder that they would have this kind of clash of
style?
Clash of style, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just thought that's quite amusing actually.
Yeah.
And when we talked it through, because their team have done insights with me, and I just sat back and went, all he was a cool blue.
Yeah.
But because you're sunshine yellow, they're your most difficult customer because of this opposite thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. Okay. So why do you think this Selling with Insights course and workshop would differ particularly from your traditional sales courses?
I think the beauty of this, Gary, is that once we've got through the insight element, and the sales team really understand what insights is all about, and recognizing the different types and personality traits and all of that, then when we start off on the sales method and start the sales training, what we can then use and lean into is everyone's individual insights profile that they will do before the course. So as part of your individual insights profile, we're going to include the sales chapter. So in the sales chapter of your insights profile, there's 5 or 6 pages in there dedicated to how you sell. So it's got each different phase of the sales method. So preparing for the sale, questioning in the sale, objection handling, closing, etc. There's a page for each stage of the sale. And it shows you your strengths in that area and your weaknesses in that area. So as and when we're going through the sales method and talking about all the great techniques that are really, really valuable and impactful for today's audience, then we can go around the room and do some really nitty-gritty one-to-one coaching, leaning into what your insights profile says. And it's for that reason that I'm going to have at least 2 trainers in the room. It won't just be me. It could be your good self, or a number of my trusted acquaintances, shall we say, who are insights practitioners as well as great sales trainers, so that we can give the individuals in the room that individual time and lean into their insights profile using the data from the sales chapter for each stage of the sale we talk about, so that they can go away with some very tailored, bespoke action plans at the end of it.
Yeah. And within sales,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And within sales, we have the expression pain points, don't we? Customers' pain points and things.
Yeah.
So with regard to this specific workshop, what pain points do you feel that we will help people to address?
I think we will be addressing not only impacting the bottom line and putting some more numbers on the board and all of that kind of thing, but I go back to what I said earlier. I think we will really help overcome this frustration that some sales people feel at the end of meetings when they're going, why didn't they buy? Maybe there's going to be some penny dropping moments that people can reflect on and think, do you know what? That meeting I had 3 weeks ago, this is why he didn't buy. Because I was explaining everything from my sunshine yellow perspective, and my customer was a cool blue. So the way I was describing everything just wasn't landing.
Okay.
And for sales managers and directors, exactly the same. Let's stop this plateauing and get your team elevating again and get that steady incline back going. Because, you know, obviously the sales training, there's going to be some moments there that maybe we can talk about some new and different techniques to do with questioning, to do with you know, proposing your solution and how to articulate all of that. But if we tie that in as well with the impact that the insight has, then there'll be some massive wins, some huge wins.
So yeah, I take from that what you just said then, that it won't particularly, where it will impinge and positively impact upon pain points is it will enable the salesperson to understand the pain points a bit better and get under the skin of the pain points, not only what the pain points are, but why they matter to the customer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think now with the knowledge and experience I've had of insights, we can help people talk to their customers in their language. So if you've got, say, a sunshine yellow or an earth green customer, we can start asking them things like, what do you feel about that? How does that feel? Whereas the cool blues and the fiery reds, it's what do you think about that? Because the decision-making aspects of insights tell us that the fiery reds and cool blues make decisions with their head, and the sunshine yellows and the earth greens make more gut, instinctive, emotional decisions. So if you're asking for decisions and trying to close sales and things like that, we can put the solution in place and ask some people, what do you think about that? And we can ask the others, how does that feel? And we can talk their language. Once we've observed the behaviour and we think we know what kind of insights profile they lead with.
And I'm guessing that once we've cracked that, then that relationship for the long term is going to thrive, surely.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that's what it's about these days, isn't it, Gary? You know, you'll know just as well as me that, you know, selling today is more relationship based than ever. You know, and so many of my clients say to me, well, people by people. So I really want my sales team to forge really great, strong relationships with existing and new customers.
Yeah.
And it's then that I say to them, yeah, people by people, but that's not the full sentence. The full sentence is people by people like them. So if we can do what Insights teaches us through the sales method, and observe the other person's behaviour and think, what is it about me that I need to dial down or dial up so we're on the same page as human beings, then we'll forge those great relationships.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of the logistics then, Rob, what will they go away with? You've mentioned already they'll go away with the profile and the sales chapter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What other parts of the toolkit will they walk away with?
Yeah, so there's the actual insights profile that they'll walk away with, and for sales managers especially, there's going to be more content within that profile that can form a really great foundation for their future coaching within their organisation. There's obviously a workbook that we'll have for them to do the sales training aspects, but most importantly, a really good action plan at the end, and obviously the option of having future one-to-one sessions with myself or yourself maybe, where we will sit down with them. If they're in a telesales role, we'll sit down and come in for a day and observe them.
Yeah.
Post-course, how they're talking to their customers. Now we'll go out on the road with your salespeople and shadow their appointments and give them coaching in between those calls to do with either insights or the sales method or a bit of both, to embed the learning afterwards, I think, and that's really important, that follow-up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, critical, isn't it? Yeah, crucial.
Yeah, absolutely important.
Yeah, and if customers are going to get the best of the investment, then they've got that follow-up is where the return on investment really lies. That's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, isn't it? How the salesperson implements these ideas. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's been one or two larger organisations that I've worked with on this, and what we've done first is, if there's say 3 or 4 sales managers, because there's 3 or 4 teams, we just get the sales managers together first and put them through the program as though they're delegates, so they get to know what their teams are going to experience. But also, as we're putting the sales management through the program, we'll be stopping at certain points and thinking, so how are you going to coach this afterwards? What are you going to do to embed this afterwards?
Yeah.
And then each manager sits the course for a second time with their team. So as well as myself and another trainer, the sales manager has already been through the program, so they can help sit in and coach and all of that kind of thing. And we're on hand as well to overhear that coaching and steer them maybe, so they can go away afterwards and really embed that learning with their people as well.
Yeah. Okay. So who should attend the sessions ideally?
Yeah, I mean, I work across such a diverse range of marketplaces. So really, it's virtually anyone in sales, really, because even if you've only got a small sales team of 1 or 2 people, we're going to run an open program in July, Monday the 22nd and Tuesday the 23rd of July, where you can send your 1 or 2 people onto the program and they'll go through the workshop with other people from different organisations, and that can be a great networking experience as well. These open programs are wonderful. But if you want your sales team to sit it as a team, we will come to you anywhere in the country. Let's just align our diaries and we will come to you and deliver something really tailored on site. And what we'll do before the program is we'll have some familiarization calls so that the sales managers, the sales directors can talk to me about what they're hoping to get out of the program. I can talk to them about the content, and we can tailor that content specifically as well.
Okay, so there's an open version, an open course.
Yeah.
So for those that aren't familiar with the phraseology, that's where people from lots of different industries come and meet, and we go through the same course, but it's not as, it's probably fair to say it's not as tailored to...
Not as tailored, no.
But it's useful into the networking, sharing ideas and things like that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's the open version, and then there's obviously the in-company version as well.
Absolutely.
How many days were involved in this?
The open program will be 2 days.
Okay.
And the bulk of day 1 is going through insights, and then from sort of the last quarter of day 1 and day 2 is the sales training aspects. And like we said earlier, that's bolstered by leaning into those insights profiles and the sales chapters of the individuals in the room. As far as the in-company programs go, we can come and do that 2-day version, or if you really want to go to town with it, there's a 3-day version. And the only difference with the 3-day version is quite simply, we just take longer to go through the sales method and make sure that we're using your scenarios, the objections that you hear every day, and make sure that at the end of that, your sales team can go out and have just such wonderful, high value, high impact conversations with their people. And I think with the 3-day version, there's more individual time plugged in to do practice and role play and all of that kind of thing. But like I say, we'll sit down before the program and just see what's best for you, really. And if it's the 2-day version, great. If it's the 3-day version, great.
And how many people ideally would make up the group in terms of numbers?
As far as the open program goes, there's going to be 15 seats available on the open program. For the in-house, it really depends on the makeup of your organisation and what your team sizes are. I would say no fewer than, say, 6 people, no more than 12 to 15. But we can talk about numbers on an individual basis when it comes to the in-house programs.
Okay.
Those are the numbers that tend to work best, because we don't want too many that we can't give people that individual time.
Yeah.
And we don't want too few, so that the the exercises can't run to their maximum efficiency and effectiveness.
And that now makes sense in terms of if there's a group of 15, that makes sense why there's at least a couple, maybe 3 trainers in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotcha. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do people go about finding out more about it?
They can drop me a line at my email address, rob@robmoontraining.co.uk. They can jump on the website, robmoontraining.co.uk. There's some LinkedIn posts attached to my LinkedIn profile, or they can just give me a call, 07736 592 958, and pick up the phone and just have a chat. Even if you just want to find out more, let's just have a chat and see where you're at, see what you need.
Yeah. Okay. There's lots of ways to get in touch with you, Rob. Thanks for explaining it. Thanks for taking us through your thinking behind it and the differentiation and the added value that it'll bring to anyone that attends. So really helpful, and hopefully it's useful to viewers and listeners of this to get to pardon the pun, get a bit more an insight into selling.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think the crux of it is, Gary, that lots of sales trainers in general, really, they talk about achieving behavioural change, getting people to do things differently. And I think what this course will do is take that to another level. And what I'm going to talk about in the room is not just behaviours, but instincts. Because I think our instincts kick in. When a customer says that, I instinctively say this. And we need to change some of those instincts, because I think it's the instincts that then drive that behaviour.
And are those instincts driven by our preferred preference?
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Your personality kicks in.
Yeah.
Instinctively, we do things based on our personality. Yeah. But if I know that I'm talking to someone that's an opposite type to me, I need to change my instincts.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to slow down. Other times I need to speed up, depending on what the other person needs. And we've all heard that old saying about, I treat others how I like to be treated. And to a certain degree, that's absolutely right. But I disagree with it on the whole, because I think we need to treat others how they prefer to be treated. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, Rob. Lots of obviously, I can tell there's lots of thoughts gone into this in terms of making it a really valuable couple of days for people. So
absolutely,
anyone listening, get in touch with Rob. He's giving you all the details, including his home, his not his home phone number, but his hotline number.
Absolutely not my hotline.
His hotline. So do get in touch on LinkedIn or via Rob's website, and hopefully that's been a useful. Giving you a bit more of understanding of the benefits that you'll get from attending the Selling with Insights workshop. Rob, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks for hosting, Gary. That's been quite painless.
Okay, and best of luck with it. I'm sure you get a lot of interest. So best of luck with it.
Thanks a lot, Gary. All the best, mate. Thank you.